Hello, everybody. Welcome to the webinar on Upleveling Your Yoga Business Masterclass. If you are a 200 participant, be sure that you mark down that this is one of the webinars that you attended. And if you are rewatching this recording, I hope that this helps you to uplevel your yoga business. My name is Molly Schreiber, and I am CEO and founder of Challenge to Change Incorporated. I am a mother of four beautiful children. Here are three of my children, my son Jacob and Maria, who are on each side of me. They are twins and they're 20, and my daughter Margaret, who is 22. I am a dog mom to Mila and Blue. I have two beautiful Labradoodles that I love very much. I also have a master's in education and a 500 ERYT, and I'm also a YACUP with Yoga Alliance. And of course, overall, I am a lover of mindfulness. My noble goal in life, and anyone who works with us at Challenge to Change has a noble goal that they're able to roll off their tongue. And my noble goal is raising happy, healthy, safe kids who make the world around them better than they found it. And that is a big part of our mission and what we do here at Challenge to Change. So today I am going to go through a lot of what we have done at Challenge to Change to up-level our yoga business, how it began and where we go, where we are now. So we were founded in 2013, and at that time I had finished my yoga teacher training and knew that I wanted to make a yoga a bigger part of my life. When I went into my 200 yoga teacher training, I wanted to bring hot yoga to Dubuque, and I was a harder, faster, stronger. I was very into the asana. And when I finished my YTT, I left loving meditation and wanting to bring it to kids. And that's when Challenge to Change was born. It started with me just teaching kids yoga classes around town, and it developed through more training into me developing curriculums and bringing Challenge to Change into schools, workplaces, facilities, shelters, and other communities and spaces and places in the world that need proactive and preventative mindfulness techniques, most of all into schools. So if you look at this page here, you're able to see all that we have done to up level our yoga business at Challenge to Change. One that started from me teaching yoga classes where I was paid $20 per class, all the way up to where we are now, where at the height of our school programming, we were in 216 schools. Now teaching YTTs at the 200, 95, and 300 level, and also offering numerous camps, classes, workshops, and most importantly, our licensed affiliate program. So if you believe in our mission in empowering individuals with a proactive approach to strengthen their mind, body, and emotional well-being through viable preventative mindfulness tools, maybe you want to think about looking at our licensed affiliate video and making mindfulness your business. When I start any of our webinars or trainings, I love to take the opportunity for everyone to pause and breathe. So whatever you're doing right now, as long as you're not driving, take a moment to unground or unwind and ground yourself. So if your legs are crossed, uncross them. If your hands are crossed, uncross them. And softly put your hands on your lap and maybe close your eyes or hood your gaze or look at the growing breath on the screen. And we're going to take a few breaths together. So as you see on the screen, the circle get wider. That's where we'll take our inhale. And as you see it get smaller, take a few exhales. So just exhale, let the breath go. Inhale, fill the belly, the rib cage, the chest. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out, let it go. Belly, rib cage, chest. Open mouth, release, sigh it out, let it go. And one more time on your own. Then maybe sealing the lips and inhaling in through the nose and exhaling back out through the nose or through slightly parted lips. Doing that a few more times and finding your quiet. When you're ready, blink open your eyes. Thank you for taking that time to pause and to breathe and to connect with yourself. So you're prepared to dig in and up level your yoga business. Growth isn't about working harder, it's about building smarter. And that is the philosophy in any sort of small business, any sort of entrepreneurial business that you are beginning. It's not about working harder, it's about building in a much stronger, intentional way. I'm going to begin with talking a little bit about most yoga businesses. Most yoga businesses experience what's right here on the screen: inconsistent income, relying on drop-in classes. Remember me talking about being that teacher who was given $20 per class in the very beginning? They experience burnout because they're teaching so many classes for very little dollar amount. They feel that they must teach more and more and more to raise their income. And they are finding that there are so many people teaching exactly what they teach, and maybe better or smarter in a lot of ways. That is much of the time where those small businesses fail. But failure, when you work with us, is just not an option. You need to start to think like a business owner. You need to engage in that entrepreneurial spirit. Shift your mindset from just being a yoga teacher to also being a business owner. So start to ask yourself questions that will help with outcomes. What problem do I want to solve? Do I want to make a difference with kids? Do I want to work with teens? Do I want to work with an elderly population? Am I going to be a teacher that stands out because of the essence and my ness that I bring to class? What do I want to do to create that full experience for my students? And how do I want to create community? So shifting that mindset is definitely the first step, because the more specific you become in your practice, in your niche, you will be easier to understand. You will become a brand, and the people will find you. I'm from Iowa, so you often hear the saying, if you build it, they will come, because of the Field of Dreams. I actually live near the Field of Dreams, but it's very true. Because when you become specific about what your brand is, people will find you and people will clarify. So we talked a little bit about your niche, whatever you want to call it. What do you want to be? Who do you want to be? You get to decide that, because people don't just buy yoga, they buy outcomes. They buy the person. They buy into the community. So, what do you want to do? Again, I talk so highly of children's mindfulness because that is the brand that we really do at Challenge to Change. That is the big part of our nest. But we also have moved into social emotional learning, emotional regulation. We have also worked into working with athletes. That happens a lot with our nonprofit, our sister nonprofit, Mindful Minutes. We work with athletes. We also work with teachers a lot. We have continuing education classes. We wrap around the whole school system, not just the students. And overall, we really work on mental wellness, brain health. So clarifying yours will help to give you the ideas of what you want to offer with your small yoga business, or if you someday get larger, with your larger yoga business. So start to think about different programs that you could offer. Maybe like 6 to 8 week programs where people can sign up for the 8 weeks in advance. And maybe you have like a journal with it, or you have a card deck you created, or maybe you create at home videos that go along with it. Maybe you even put it online so it's self-paced and bringing in residual income for you. But starting to get really specific about what are some of the things that you want to offer that might not just be those drop-in classes, help you to work that smarter, not harder direction. You really want to think about diversifying your income. Remember that $20 an hour class? You can do that, and that's wonderful. I still have one class I teach every single week where I earn that $30, and I love it. I prepare for that class, I put everything into it, but then I also diversify from that class. I've started our online YouTube channel and then have gotten more specific about mindful moments with Molly on it that come from that weekly yoga class. We have also gotten into receiving grants where we earn video equipment and get on public television. Those are other ways for you to really diversify your income so you're not just relying on one revenue stream. Some other ideas that we have for you for diversifying your income are right here on the page. Having things like journals, card decks, merchandise, having a brand that you can also sell will help you to bring in different um, income streams where you don't have to just rely on the amount of classes that you teach face to face. You bring a lot of value. You have that special niche. You need to be able to diversify from that niche so you can earn income in several ways. So when you decide, I'm not going to just earn that $20 class, that's not just what I'm here for. I have a specialty, I have a power, and I want to build community, and you start to diversify your income, you're going to have the people, and they will return to you over and over again because they feel connected to you, they feel connected to your brand, and they feel connected to everything that you've diversified and how it can bleed into other areas of their lives. When people start to return to you, maybe you want to think about doing some sort of monetization on your YouTube channel where you have a private section, where it's a paid section. There are also other platforms that you can do that on, like Patreon, where you can have monthly challenges. You can spotlight members within your community. You can even offer community events, whether it be live, if you built your community live, or online. There are so many different ways that you can really bring in that diversification through the community that you're building. So it's a win-win-win for everyone because they are able to feel belonging to that community and you are able to give a gift to them at the same time. Because connection, when you create that in a community, it'll build loyalty to you as the teacher, to you as the business owner, to you as the brand. So as I mentioned, brand is very important. Begin to build on your brand. We all have a special ness. I say I have Molly ness because the parts of me that I offer become my ness. And that is part of my brand. People connect with people. They don't connect with something plastic. So as you build your personal brand and up-leveling your yoga business, clarify your story. What is your why? Why did you come to this practice? Many people have heard me talk about the experience of losing my husband at 30 years old and being widowed with 3 kids under the age of 3, and how powerful the practice of yoga was for me at that time. It became a huge healing modality for me that helped me to stay present in my body. It helped to calm my mind, and it helped me to move forward in my grieving and in my healing. And of course, then, most importantly, finding meaning in life. And when I found that meaning in life, Challenge to Change was born. And that's where my mission comes in. That's where my noble goal comes in of raising happy, healthy, safe kids who make the world around them better than they found it. And we're all kids at heart, aren't we? We sure are. We're kids from the time we're born to the time we take our last dying breath. So, understanding what's your why, developing a mission from that, and then gathering from there. When you've built your brand, when you've built your mission, when you've clarified that story, your values are going to follow and people are going to connect to that. Students are going to want to share their success stories with you, and you're really going to understand and continue to build upon that brand and continue to diversify your income and continue to build that community. It all happens organically, but not without some hard work. Something that we have found very important with Challenge to Change is that your online presence truly matters. So once you have built your brand, you need to make sure it goes out to social medias, that you have built a website, that you are able to bring yourself to your community so that they clearly can understand what you offer. who it's for, how does it work for them, and why you are the yoga teacher that they should choose. You want to make sure that it's really clear what you do and that it's not all over the place. Building a strong website can be easy to do. You can find someone to do it for you, or you can easily build it through a lot of the AI builders that are out there right now. Once you become more profitable, you may want to look into partnering with some sort of company that can next level you, because as you build your brand, as the people come to you, as your business grows, you're going to find that you're going to need to up level everything and continue evolving. At Challenge to Change, after 10 years, we rebranded to the new logo you see now in the background, which is Move, Breathe, Grow. And it's all about taking yourself from that negative mindset all the way through to the positive, through the practice of breath work, movement, and through growth, personally, professionally, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, and at the soul level. Once you have developed an online presence, once you have brought yourself into Instagram, maybe TikTok, Facebook, maybe once you've developed that beautiful website of your dream, you want to use content that educates the people. Don't just post your class schedules. Don't say, on Monday, here I am, on Tuesday, here I am. I used to do that kind of stuff in the very beginning, back when I started. But since then, it's really evolved. Bring in other parts of what you have to offer to your community, like perhaps using breathing tips. Make videos of you teaching different types of breath techniques. Maybe it's stress reduction. Maybe you want to give some yoga sequences in some of your marketing posts. Maybe you want to share some of those success stories that your community that you've built want to share. People always are looking for those experts to hire. They're looking for those people who educate, that don't just say, see me here on Tuesday on 6 o'clock, and that's all they have to offer. Your brand is you. Build upon yourself. You want to make sure also, as you're building your brand, as you're diversifying your income, as you're bringing yourself to light in social media, as your online presence is growing, to make sure that you create a top-notch client experience, because every interaction you have with your client, it matters. You want to always think things through. What makes it easiest for your people? How can your community come together in the easiest, most streamlined way? Is it making sure on your website that registration is easy? Is it welcoming emails by sending out emails that maybe follow up a marketing post? Giving them follow-up messages after they attend a webinar experience? Giving them helpful reminders? Creating a beautiful class environment? You want to make sure that you give your community, your clients, an experience that they're going to remember and want to come back for. Because when those experiences happen, that's the best type of marketing. When you have clients who want to share about the amazing experience that they've had with you. A lot of times, you can get really good marketing from partnerships. Partnerships create growth in your business and in your partnerships with other people. I have found through my nonprofit work at Mindful Minutes that grant givers really like to see partnerships with other nonprofits. They like to see communities working together. So I invite you to look outside of your community to help develop those partnerships, to create growth in your business. We found at Challenge to Change that schools were wonderful partners for us, preschools, our work in hospitals, adding in counseling elements like the PHP programs at hospitals. Also looking into libraries with all of our children's books that we've written that we now have to offer. We also have grown in our nonprofit work, as I've mentioned, where now we're writing grants for many diversified things to create partners in our licensed affiliate program. So now we do have scholarship money for people to begin their own mindfulness businesses through our licensed affiliate program. So, really creating those partnerships can be very rewarding in your yoga business because you never know what doors they're going to open for you. Many new yoga teachers are often threatened by people who are doing the same things as them. But sometimes asking yourself, what would I do if I wasn't afraid of this other person doing the same thing? What would I do if I wasn't afraid to partner with them? How could we both grow? How could we benefit? So remember to always sit back and ask yourself those questions as an entrepreneur and think things through. The biggest thing that I've talked about from the very beginning is as you are building your yoga business, stop trading time for dollars. Remember, I keep going back to that $20 an hour yoga class that you were teaching that probably actually took you 3 hours to do. So it was actually not $20 an hour because you spent 1 hour creating the class in your head and writing it down. You spent the second hour teaching it. And then you spent 30 minutes before being there, inviting people and welcoming people, and 30 minutes at the end cleaning up and talking to your participants. It's time to keep doing those things to give back and to help other yoga studios be successful, but also start to thinking that smarter, not working harder. How can you help people when you're not teaching? And switching it to that verbiage of how can I help people, not thinking I'm taking money from them. Get rid of that thought process that yoga is a service that you should give to the world. You paid for a yoga teacher training. You paid to create the studio of your dreams and the business of your dreams. Your time is worth every dollar, even if it's not face-to-face time. This is where you want to really bring in what are some online presence that I can offer? We now at Challenge to Change offer online 95-hour yoga teacher trainings, online 200-hour yoga teacher trainings. We use our licensed affiliate program, so we're partnering with people and they are bringing the business of their dreams out into the world through utilizing our curriculums, our resources, and our brand. Knowing that it's a brand that's already recognized and taking it out into the world. Another great way to do it is to record courses and have it be online self-paced. We do that through our continuing education classes, where it's constantly making residual income as people are watching the recorded courses over and over again. When you do that, it's important to have a very strong website or online platform that you use. Currently at Challenge to Change, we use Teachable for our online platform of our recorded courses, but we are moving over into our own very deeply branded one that we own through our own website. And so again, it's building on your brand. And as you keep growing, as you keep diversifying, as you build your brand, as you grow in your business, it's great to also invest some of those dollars back in and improve your platforms, improve your website, improve your online media, maybe hiring someone to do your marketing for you. Another great way is to never undervalue memberships, whether it's live or online, or if it's a self-paced membership as well. You bring a lot of value with those videos. Maybe creating digital workbooks that people can download at any time off your website. Something that's very powerful for us are our journals, are our kids' one-off worksheets, are our card decks that can be all PDFs that are really easy residual income that you can make. Guided meditations, recording them, having them sold for 99 cents, or monetizing through Spotify and YouTube with them. Never undervaluing anything that has to do with building your brand. So any idea that you have, go for it. Ask yourself, what would I do if I wasn't afraid? And as you're thinking of ways to stop trading your time for dollars, I encourage you to take 1 hour a week where you have, or at least 1 hour a week, where you have think time, where you dream big, where you journal about all the things that you could do if you weren't afraid. And then take one of those things at a time and work on them as a project and create it. Once you start to build income from that one residual income, it'll start to build, and then you build the second thing and it'll start to bring income in along with the first. So snowballing all of that together is really a powerful experience as a yoga teacher. I often say, measure what matters. So as you're building, as you're taking this think time, as you're creating these projects, always measure what matters. Is that programming working? Are you having new students come to it? Are you having returning students? Are you keeping your clients, or are they going somewhere else? Do a little analysis every now and then. Sometimes it's nice to do an audit every few months where you can look at what is your traffic on your website? Are there referrals coming in? Are there your places, people joining your website through your email list? But doing an audit of that and knowing what's working and what's not working. Because whatever you measure, it will improve because you're doing that data analysis and maybe not putting your energy towards the things that aren't working and putting your energy towards the things that are working. Remember, energy flows where your attention goes. If you want the energy of diversification of income, if you want the energy of creating wealth, put your attention there because that's where the energy is going to flow. I often talk to many yoga teachers when I'm training them one-on-one to not be afraid to raise your value. I talked about this a little bit earlier, where many yoga professionals feel that they should give the service for free, or that they shouldn't charge very much because of the yamas and the niyamas about giving to the world, and that yoga should be a heart-to-heart exchange. It is absolutely that. But many of the yoga professionals out there have paid thousands of dollars for trainings, and they at least need to earn that income back. They at least are now someone that can offer something that not everybody can, and that has value. So don't undervalue what you do. Charge for it. If you in the beginning want to offer some free offerings to draw people in, go for it. That's wonderful. I remember when I was a baby yoga teacher, I did a lot of that. And then it got to be where maybe I offered a couple free things a week. And then I maybe offered one free thing a week. And then it eventually got to one free thing a month. So really not undervaluing what you do, especially as you're building that brand, especially as word gets out about you. Because when you start to really value yourself, you're going to find that you have better outcomes financially, personally, and professionally. People are attracted to things that have price tags. When they're free, they often question, well, why is this free? Is it not very good? So make sure that you're always checking in on what your value is, what you're giving away for free, and where maybe you can increase your income. You deserve it. You also want to think in your branding, in your marketing, and as you build, that you are creating so much more than yoga, and that has value. You're not just giving them the physical postures. You are creating a health path for your community. You are creating, especially if you're a licensed affiliate with Challenge to Change, an emotional intelligence along with the practice of yoga. You are giving them community. You are giving them confidence that maybe they've been searching for a long time. You're giving leadership opportunities, maybe through the trainings that you offer. You are giving human connection at a whole nother level when you experience the 8 limbs of yoga and share that with your community. Remember that that has a lot of value. Think bigger than just yoga. You are giving them a full human experience that can never be undervalued. Remember, you are the first person that they see in the face of yoga, and you're diving them deeper into a whole meaningful change throughout the rest of their life. So I encourage you as an entrepreneur, as someone who is building a business, as someone who's building a brand, to create an action plan. Remember that 1 hour think time I talked about that you should have every single week, where you sit down and think of projects, you think of brainstorm ideas, you think of, what would I do if I wasn't afraid? I want you to make an action plan. If you take anything away from this short webinar, take away one thing from this list. Some examples of that might be defining your niche. What is it that makes you stand out? Maybe create one signature program. Maybe start an email list, and you can do that so easy through MailChimp. They offer it free for a while. I use it through our platform of Wix for our website. Maybe you just want to record one online class and put it on YouTube and see where it goes. That's how I started too. And people were coming to those videos organically without me even trying. Maybe you want to just start to think, if you're a more experienced yoga teacher, about raising your prices because you have a lot of value. Maybe it's time that you've built your brand and your business is doing well, but you need to collect testimonials to up-level your business. Maybe you need to spend money and reinvest back in by updating your website. You need to always constantly have an action plan as an entrepreneur, as a yoga teacher, to continue to up-level your yoga business. If you want some more coaching, I'm happy to give one-on-one coaching too, by personally looking at your business and then telling you how you could tweak it and up-level it. Remember, when you begin your yoga business, you're going to start small, but it's through consistent actions that it can create change and lasting growth. So remember, one small thing a day, one small thing, one small effort towards your yoga business can completely change the trajectory of where you'll be a year from now, or 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 14 years from now, like Challenge to Change. Remember, every small step you make, it leads to that growth. And you have to start with that first small step. But then take the next action in your action plan and keep growing from there. Keep taking the next right step, and the next right step will happen. That's what I often say. Keep doing the next right thing so the next right thing happens. Remember to not be afraid to dream big. When we dream small, things stay small. Dream big. Use that action plan to drive you forward. Use that think time every week to help you to think bigger and broader and keep dreaming. Remember, you have value. You bring a lot of service to your community, and you create sustainable impact in their lives through health and through making them live a happier, healthier, safe life. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime with any questions or comments that you have. Again, I'm Molly with Challenge to Change, and this is my email here where you can reach me directly. Otherwise, you can go to our website at www.challengetochange.inc.com, where you can directly reach me through that, or look at all we have to offer. If you're curious at all about any of our trainings, please remember they are live or online self-paced, or you can also do some one-on-one coaching or look into our licensed affiliate program. Please know that I'm always here to serve you, and I'm so happy that you came to up-level your yoga business. Namaste.